everyone, welcome to my Christmas stocking tutorial. For this project, we will be needing a pair of scissors, a darning needle, and an 8mm crochet hook. And the kind of yarn that I'm going to be using is this really thick and nice soft yarn by Bernat, Yarnspirations Bernat Softy Chunky. It is a, let's go here, super bulky number 6 weight yarn, and it does require an 8mm hook. It's 100% acrylic. I like this project because you can make this stocking relatively quickly. So let's get going. All right, to start making this stocking, what we are going to do is we are first going to make a slip knot. Insert our hook there. We're going to chain 2. And then we're going to take the tail here, kind of pinch at the end of that chain 2 and wrap the yarn there around our thumb. And we kind of created a magic knot here. This is not my idea. This is just something I learned and I thought it was really cool. And now we are going to work into this circle by making 10 half double crochets. So we yarned over, we inserted our hook into the big circle. We're going to grab our yarn and pull through all 3 of the loops on our hook. So there's 1. We're going to do another one. So when we're doing these 10 half double crochets, that chain 2 that we did is not going to count. So you just want to keep making them until you have 10 half double crochets inside our circle here. Okay, so once you have your 10 half double crochets inside that circle, what you're going to do is you're going to take your tail here and you're going to pull it to close off that circle. And then we are going to go into that first half double crochet that we made, insert our hook, grab our yarn, and we're going to make a slip stitch. Pull it through and pull it through the yarn on our hook. Alright, so this is the very beginning of our toe. Now what we want to do is we want to chain 2. And now we're going to go work around the circle. But what we're going to do for this round is we're going to put 2 half double crochets in every stitch. So there's 1, and then the same stitch, there's 2, and we'll go into the next one, 1, and 2. So 2 half double crochets in every stitch. Once you finish putting 2 half double crochets in every stitch, you should end up with 20 stitches. And then here's where we slip stitched, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go into the top of that first half double crochet. So there's our chain 2. We want to go right at the top there, and we're going to slip stitch. Next, we're going to do 1 more round of increases, and to do that, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to put that spot where we put the slip stitch. And in the next spot, we're going to put 2. There's 1. 2. And in the next one, we're just going to put 1. And the next one 2, and we're going to repeat this pattern all the way to the end. And once you get to the end, you should have a total of 30 stitches. All right, once we reach the end of that row, like I said, we should have a total of 30 stitches. And we ended where we slip stitched and chained 2, so we're going to slip stitch again. And now we're going to be doing 7 rows at this point of just 30 stitches, going around just 1 single crochet in each stitch till we get to 10 rows total. All right, so I'm just finishing up my 10th row here, so I'm just going to finish it by slip stitching. All right, so here's what your 10 rows will start to look like. That's going to be our toe of our stocking. Now let's start working on the heel. So we want to chain 2, and we are only going to have double crochet in the next 22 stitches. So like always, we want to start in that spot where we slip stitched. So that's 1. And just do 22. 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2 and turn our work, which is going this way. So we're going to do this for the next 9 rows. Just do 22, chain 2, turn our work for 9 rows. Okay, so we have done our 9 rows of 22 stitches back and forth, and this is kind of what we have. This is the foot of our stocking. Now what we want to do, we're going to attach these 2 sides, so we're just going to insert our hook in there and at the end of the other side. Okay, so we're just going to attach this, insert our hook through both sides, and pull through, and slip stitch, pull through the loop on our hook. Now what we want to do is we want to work around here. So we're going to put a half double crochet in each spot here. Now it doesn't have to be exact. For mine, I ended up with 34 stitches, but it is most likely going to be a little bit bigger than the 30 stitches that you started out with. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2. Okay, and we're going to put a half double crochet all along the side here. So there's 1, then go into the next, just kind of where you don't have to necessarily force your hook through. Okay, so you're just going to keep doing that. Then when you get to this side, there should be 8 half double crochets. Then you go along and you do a half double crochet till you get to the other side. Okay, so after having gone all the way around, I ended up with 36 half double crochets all the way around. So when you get to the end, we're just going to slip stitch, like always, at the first half double crochet we made. And we're always gonna chain 2 and start in the spot where we slip stitched. And now we're going to go make the top part of our stocking. So we're just going to keep doing this all the way around until we get to the height that we want. So for mine, I did 19 rows, but we're going to stop at just before the height that you want. So like one row before the height that you want to do, because we're going to then switch to our cuff color if you wanted to make that a different color. So go up 18 rows or however high that you want your stocking to be, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so once you have the amount of rows that you want, one row below the amount of rows you want, so in my case it was 18 rows. This is what it should look like. And yes, you'll have an opening here. We'll be closing that once we're finished. But now what we want to do is we want to attach the yarn we're going to be using for our cuff. Okay, so to make the last row and with the yarn that we're using for our cuff, we want to go the opposite direction that we were going before. So just flip your work around. And we're going to insert our hook and attach our yarn. So we're just going to grab our yarn, pull through and leave a long enough tail. And we're going to chain 2. And we're just going to do exactly what we've been doing. Just half double crochet right where we chain 2. And half double crochet all the way around. Okay, once you have that first row of white there, which is actually going to be the last row that you want the height of your stocking to be, we're next going to just slip stitch, chain 2, and for this row we're going to be working in the back loop only of every stitch. So just want to get right into the back loop, and I'm going into the same stitch that I slip stitched in. Okay, back loop, and putting a half double crochet. So the back loop is the loop that's furthest away from you. And you want to do this just this one time all the way around to the end. Okay, once you reach the end of the back loop only row, we're then going to slip stitch like normal. Chain 2, and we're going to do just normal rounds of half double crochet, both loops, for however long you want your cuff to be. And just exactly what we've been doing. Okay, so I just finished my last round of my cuff here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just finish it off with the slip stitch like normal. And then we're just going to fasten off, leave a tail there so we can weave it in. and fasten that off. Oop. Pull that tight. Okay, so let's fold our cuff down here. Here's what we're looking at. Here's what our cuff looks like. And now we want to put that little loop on there. So what we're going to do that is, all right, I like it facing this way where the toe is facing to my right, pointing to my right. And we're going to take, like, I'm going to go, you know, where the corners meet here. So right in the center there. What we're going to do is we're going to attach some yarn. You can have this be either color, either the stocking color or the cuff color, whatever you prefer. Just going to attach this yarn. What happened here? Okay. And we're going to chain one. All right, now we're going to chain however long you want your want it to be. So 3, 4, 9. I'll do 10. Then we want to come right back down where we put in that yarn and just slip stitch that together. Just grab the yarn, pull it through and pull it through the loop on our hook, and then fasten that off. Okay, so that's how we add the little hook there. And then we want to weave in these ends, make sure they're nice and weaved in so none of this will get unraveled. And I just wanted to show you how we close off this right here. Okay, so for sewing in this side here, what I did and what I thought it looked nice when it was done was we're going to flip this inside out. Okay. So this is inside out. Just make sure it's lined up there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet these sides together. So to do that, we're going to go on the far end side here, go on both sides, grab our yarn, pull that through there, pull up a loop, and chain one. So we've attached our yarn there. So now we're just going to single crochet all the way down, both sides. So insert loop on both sides, grab our yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through two. And make sure you're doing it on both sides, grabbing both sides there, just to close that off. Make sure that you cut off a long enough tail so that you can weave in that end as well. Just going to get to the end here. Okay. So we've gotten that to the end, and we're just going to cut off a long enough tail so that we can weave that in. Fasten this off. Pull that nice and tight. We're going to flip this back right side out. So here's our scarf, or our stocking. Oh, pull that out there. And there's how that edge looks. See that? Looks pretty good. So now all that's left is we just want to weave in all of our ends. Make sure it's nice and secure. Make sure you have an end over here, and you have a couple ends up here in the one that we just did. And then you're all done with your beautiful handmade crochet stocking. And I'll show you once you have everything weaved in. Here's a green one that I made. And you can play with the Christmas colors. Like I made the handle for this green and the cuff, the cream white color. And everything is weaved in, and it looks really nice, and I can't wait to use it for Christmas. Thank you everybody for watching. Please subscribe and like this video and my channel. And remember to check out my website too, stitchandtimecrochet.com. Thank you.